Being able to access computers remotely is something that feels super techy to a lot of people and is intimidating to a lot of folks. But it doesn't have to be. And you really want to listen to this one because this can make your life so much easier in so many different ways and make it easier for your business to get things done. So let's get this party started and we will dive right in. Connecting to another computer outside of your physical location at the moment is not as big a deal as people think it is. There are tools in place to make it very simple, and it is something that can be such a massive time saver that it's a shame that more people don't take advantage of it. So we're going to fix that tonight, because being able to connect to another computer, it's really not rocket science. Well, it's probably rocket science under the covers, but at the surface where we're going to operate, it's not a big deal. And it is super easy, super fun, and actually it kind of makes you look like a rock star. So hey, come on, let's get rock star status. First of all, what the hell am I talking about, right? What is remote access? Remote access is the concept, the functionality of being able to log in remotely to another device, another computer, right, to access the data stored on it, the applications stored on it, the devices stored on it. Essentially, it's as close as we've gotten to teleportation, right? So I can be sitting here and I can log into my computer right here in the room, and I can access a computer in another room, in another town, in another state, in another country, all right from here, and operate that computer, that device, just like I was sitting in front of that device instead of my own computer. Interested? Curious? Hopefully. Because there's a lot of benefit to doing something like this. Now, sometimes it's just I'm lazy. I've been running back and forth and I sit down here to do something and I remember the file I need to work on is on the other computer. No problem. I don't have to go find a thumb drive, stick it in the other computer, download it, bring it here, plug it in, because my computer is not well positioned for that kind of stuff. I should get a hub. That was a different show. Plugging it in, pull it down. That's a lot of footwork. There's a lot of things that will distract me along the way, Mr. Murphy being the primary cause there. My dog, for those of you who don't know. So instead, I can just, right from here, access that computer exactly like I was sitting there, take whatever file I want, bring it here, and do what I want. And when I'm done, I can even put the updated version back on that system so that I've got it where I'm going to need it for the next step of what I'm working on. How could you use it? So you could use it to open edit files, save files on a remote location anywhere in the world. You can do that, with your employees. Your employees can do it, amongst themselves, swapping files around. You can actually do collaboration that way. Now, sure, we've talked before about, using tools like, Google Docs and those other things in order to do remote collab, and they're great, they're awesome. But there are times when you can't get what you need to do. So it's much easier if you can just go ahead and pull up the app, the tool, whatever, and work on it from there. Some other ways that you can use remote access. Okay, sick days. If you are working in an office still, you can still log into work and do things without having to physically be there and share the sickness, right? Same thing for snow days, weather events, that type of thing. There are a lot of people who do this as full-time, as a solution for their full-time remote work. So, they are either using their own device or a device supplied to them by their employer to remotely work, but they're not actually working on the device like the laptop that they're working on. They're using that to get to what's probably the better system in the office and make use of all of that. In addition to being able to access things like, printers and other devices that you maybe want to use that you don't have at home. You can use it with your vendors, your contractors, as a way to communicate, as a way for them to, maybe help you out, or for you to show them what you need, or to provide to them the files that they need. It's a two-way type of situation, which makes it even better. And it's real time, which makes it really wonderful, because who wants to sit around and wait? It's also handy, like, if your employees are going to be out of the office, whether they're, road warriors, or, they're just out and about, or they're, helping out a family member or whatever, they still have access to everything that they need by doing this. You can use this, right? So if you're running a business, but you're, at a client site, or you're meeting with vendors or your suppliers, and then you actually realize, oh, geez, I need X, which is on my computer. It's not here. You can go get it. It's no problem. You log in, you go get it, pull it, kill the connection, and you're ready to roll. It's also helpful, like if you're at things like a conference or meetings of any kind, whether you're looking to, get work done or to kind of keep things from becoming overwhelming, while you're out. Nobody likes to come back to that mailbox, that has 8,000 things that, people were sending you because you weren't in the office. You can stay on top of things this way. You can use it for tech support. That's probably the thing most people associate this kind of remote connection with, is getting support. So, for example, big surprise, right? I'm tech support for everybody in my world. Friends, family, neighbors, their friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, their friends, family, it's a ripple effect. I could get in the car and drive 2 hours to somebody's house, only to find out that what they told me was the problem wasn't the problem, and the thing I need, to fix it is home. It's much better if, unless it's a hand-on thing, like if I need to swap out memory for something for somebody, there are some things that remote is not going to replace. But if they're having trouble with an update, or they are not comfortable installing software and they need new software, whatever the thing is, if it's something that is really just keyboard jockeying kind of stuff, I can go ahead, I can log into their computer, I can do everything. They can see everything I'm doing. That's the other benefit when you're doing support, is it takes away some of that fear, because they're watching everything that you're doing. So, they not going to freak out, what did you do to my system? They were watching every step, and you can explain it as you go. And you'll be surprised that the lag is not as bad as you might think going into it. Another way that it's really helpful is if you are trying to do some kind of testing. So just as an example, I do UI UX as my day gig. And it's not possible to have every device in the universe available to you to do your testing on. So, maybe another office has got a couple of devices you can test on, or there's actually services that you can work with that will give you direct access to different devices to test on, and you just do it through a remote connection like this. And that way you can test on devices that you're never going to have in your hands, but you can sanity check your stuff. Now, I realize not everybody's doing software development, but you're possibly building something where you do need to do that kind of sanity checking to make sure that it's going to work for people on different devices. And again, you don't have them, so you can just log into somebody else's, test drive it there, and go that way. It's also very handy for QA testing or user testing, because let's say you're getting really bad reports for the web app that somebody built for you, or your website. You can actually log into somebody's system and watch as they go through. So you're seeing real time exactly what they're doing. You're hearing them as they're explaining it to you, and you don't have to be in the same room. If they have a security concern, you can flip that around. You can give them access, but still you're able to see what's going on and all of that, because it's right there in front of you. So it's a really, really time efficient way of doing things. Just real quick, some other things. It's really good for monitoring systems. If you're going to need to keep an eye on something, like if you have a server that you're running, or a backup system that you're running and you want to keep an eye on it, it's about file sharing a little bit. That's also good. You can use it to mirror an original device, including the files and applications. Printing's a big one. A lot of people don't have print at that printer, and then somebody can go get it for you or mail it to you or whatever. The point is, there's a lot of possible use cases for this, and it's the kind of thing that until you've done it, you don't realize how valuable it can be. So that's why we're talking about it. For those of you who don't know who I am, I should introduce myself. My name is Kathleen, and I am here as your tech coach. Basically, as I alluded to earlier, technology is my day gig. It's also my hobby because I find it fascinating, but not everybody in the world finds it fascinating. So I help out friends, families, neighbors, business owners who are clients of mine, when they're looking for solutions, or if they're having a problem with something, I help them figure it out. And I also jump in and for folks who want to do this kind of thing, I run the shows for them. I do moderation. I help people run webinars. So that's what I do. I've accumulated a lot of knowledge. I've worked with a lot of different tools over the time, and so I come and I share that with you. So that's why we're all here. Okay, so, oh shoot. I'm going to have to figure out, my trigger stopped for that. My apologies. I do try to have the captioning going for people. Because I talk fast. This is actually me talking slow. But also just because accessibility is a good thing. All right. So we talked about what it is, when to use it. just a handful of examples. There's a bunch more. So let's talk about how you actually do this. And the good news here, which I probably should have mentioned a little earlier, but it is in the title, this is for PCs and for Macs. Okay, so PC to PC, Mac to Mac, but also PC to Mac, Mac to PC. Okay, we can make these little worlds talk. A lot of people think they can't, but they can. So that is another lovely benefit of this. So depending on what environment you're starting from, whether it's, Mac or PC, hang on one second, I'm going to have a coughing fit. I know I was just complaining about the snow not too long ago, but I can promise you allergy season has started. Oh, this is always fun. Okay, so let's start with the Mac folks. So in order to be able to do this kind of stuff, there's a couple of different ways to do it, depending on which Mac you've gotten, which version and all that kind of stuff. You may need to actually enable the remote access functionality. For some Macs it's turned off by default, or if you got it from your company, sometimes they turn it off, that type of thing. So I will put this link in the description for you. It's actually not too bad to turn it on. What was it? It's a 3-step process. Yeah, so that's not too much. And if for some reason you're a business owner and you're giving out Mac Apple devices and you don't want them to do that, it actually explains how to turn it off. So there's that. And then there's actually built-in remote desktop services on your Apple devices. Now, here is a little extra bonus fact. Not only does it come on your Apple devices, but you can actually use this kind of a solution to connect and interact with from your computer to your phone or your tablet. Same on the other side of the fence. You can go to from Apple to PC, but you can also go to an Android phone, Windows phone, if they're still out there using that. I don't think they're still out there, but they could be. But the point is that this is a pretty agnostic situation, and so you are really able to go and work with whatever. And just because you're on a Mac and you're using the Apple remote desktop, that does not limit you to the Apple environments. You can reach out and use it for other environments too, which is a nice perk, and not always the case with Apple. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. That's how this goes. So like I said, I will put this, I will put both of these links, I'll put all my links in the description so you can check these out later. But again, it's a couple of steps and it's not a big deal. All right. So while we're talking about that, oh wait, hang on a sec. Jason says, I've seen a Chrome iOS app. It has a desktop remote tab. Cool. Yes. Actually, we're going to talk about Chrome in a minute, but yes, that is very cool, and it works because I can vouch for it. I've tested it. It's pretty awesome. All right. Next up, I just had a thought. And it went, as tends to happen. Oh, okay. Well, we'll just keep rolling. It'll come back to me if it's that important. Oh, okay. So I wanted to show you this. That's what it was. So there's instructions also right from the horse's mouth on how to use it. Same thing goes for Windows users. So my Windows folks out there, remote desktop is something that comes with the Windows operating system. And it's, a couple of steps, but it's not terribly hard. Yeah, so it's just a couple of, they've got it down as 2, but it's really like 5 steps. But it's not a big deal, and it's nothing scary. So don't be afraid to try this kind of stuff. You're not going to break anything. You're not going to hurt anything. So, you can just test drive it. If you've got a desktop at home and a laptop, you can do it to test, just yourself, just to validate the theory for yourself. But don't stress. This is not a big deal. And I'm going to show you another way that's even easier to do this. But like I said, the instructions are here. They're all broken out. Do I have this working? Oh, I do. Okay. So you can just go through and follow this. Let's say you don't want to mess with the Apple and the Windows system that's built in, because it feels a little geekier, I'll admit, to go in and do it that way. But it's not really. I mean, it does feel a little geeky. Okay, I won't I won't undermine that, but it's not that big a deal. Lyle is saying, if I'm not wrong, it's a Pro feature for Windows. It has been on and off in the past, but what everything that I read said that it is. Yeah, no, it's working on home as well. Oh wait, no. Okay, no. So this one does say, make sure you have Windows 10 Pro. Okay. I don't know that that's true because I actually did it from a friend's computer that only has home. Yeah, they're trying to get the upgrades. But it doesn't matter because I've got another way for you to do it anyway, and it's actually probably the way that most people would do it because it's a little bit easier. But the fact of the matter is you don't have to pay for anything. Okay, well, there's a little fuzziness around the Windows thing. It comes and goes. That's not unusual. I literally did it this weekend from a system that was home, so not sure why that's there. Could be that maybe in an update they turned it back on because people got pissy. That wouldn't surprise me. Okay, so the point is that you can do it for free using the onboard tools if that's what you want to do and that's how you want to roll. However, I am on board with you if you don't want to do that. A lot of times third-party solutions are the way to go because they're easier. There's a little more thought given to the UI because it's not a developer thing built by developers for developers. And the one that I recommend to people is called Teamviewer. So let me make this so you can see. Here we go. Why? No. Don't make things full screen. I'll make that decision, computer. Thank you very much. Oh, it has been that kind of day. And Jason, I don't know if you saw the live today, but oh my goodness. It has been a technology fights back kind of day. But we will win. We always win in the end because come down to it, I can always pull the plug. Okay, so Teamviewer. Teamviewer is hands down the application. Oh, okay, let me do this. Okay, disclaimer. I am not sponsored by. I have not been paid or encouraged by Teamviewer to say any of these things. This is the result of me using Teamviewer and getting coworkers, friends, and clients to use it. And the fact that it has been universally easy to work with, easy to install, and easy to get everybody on board with. So let's just get that out of the way. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but nothing's changed hands. Okay, so this is something that you could get a free download. There's also paid versions. For most of us, the free version is fine. And this is something that works on, there we go. Windows, Mac, Linux, Chrome, Raspberry Pi, Android, and iOS. I'm going to do that for you again. It works on iOS, Android, Raspberry Pi, which you may or may not have heard of, but that's pretty cool for me, Chrome OS, Linux, for my geeky friends, Mac, and Windows. Okay, so this is one company providing a tool that works for everyone. Oops, I hate those menus. So this is something that you can buy, you can use for your company. If an employee or a provider or whatever needs a copy of it, you can point them to this. It's free, and you know it'll work on their system, and you know that it will work together well. So super straightforward and easy. Hands down the way to go. This is always the one I recommend. I have used this many times, and I use it a lot for family tech support because sometimes I don't want the 4-hour round trip to go and clean somebody's cache. And I'm not kidding. So it is definitely, it's a time saver. It's a free time saver. If you are using it for commercial use, the right thing to do, the good thing to do is to pay for a copy. It's not super expensive. Okay, I said that, but and I've bought it before. Let's go look. So let's see. So, oh, okay. Oh no, this is the monthly one. There's a flat pricing one too. I hate that they hide those. But yeah, it wasn't terribly painful. I want to say it was maybe $50 to buy the standalone. That's for a high support enterprise kind of thing. You're not going to need that. But like I said, marketing departments, they think it's a good idea to throw shit in our face while we're trying to sue stuff. All right, anyway, so go with the free version. 99% of us out there, this is all we're going to need. It's a super simple install. It's low footprint, so it's not going to use up a lot of space. It doesn't use up a lot of bandwidth, and it will let you do this in a bunch of different ways. So you can connect computer to computer, computer to devices. If you are doing it for a remote kind of work thing, there is an option so that you can turn off the screen on the machine that you have logged into if for whatever reason you don't want people, or you're afraid people will be freaked out to see the mouse running on its own and opening applications. It is possible for people to overreact to that kind of thing if they don't understand what's going on. So it's kind of a nice extra feature to be able to go in and turn off the screen so that you can do what you want, you can see everything, and then when you disconnect, it just goes back to sleep and everybody is fine. So that is a good way to go. So let me just take a quick break here and say that if you need help with this kind of thing, if you have an idea for a show, if you have a topic you'd like me to cover, if you have a question that you want me to answer on the show, you just need to go ahead and reach out. yourtechcoach.net is the website. You can just go there. There's a contact form. Let me know what your question, your topic is, whatever. The only thing I ask is if you need a fast answer, if you can't wait for a future show to get the answer, please let me know that when you submit it, and let me know how to get back in touch with you so that I can get you your answer, because that's the whole goal here. If you don't do that, I have no choice but to turn it into a future show. So do give me that information, and I'm more than happy to reach out and help whoever needs help out there. That's what I do. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, that little bit of business. Oh, well, what the heck? We'll do this too. So it's good to subscribe. Okay. So let's go to the next one, which Jason, and I did not pay him to say this, but he alluded to very nicely for me, and that is another way to do this is using Chrome. So let me bring this up. I love when these things work. So, and again, I will put this into the description for you, but it's just remotedesktop.google.com. Google has some pretty good patterns, and it's the same kind of thing. It is free, and you can do it a couple of different ways, right? So, you can access your own computer, right? So you can have this running on a computer in another room and then come to the other one and access it and go, or a computer at work, or vice versa. If you're at work and you need to access something from home, it'll work that way too. And you can also do it so that would be accessing the system, actually working on the computer like you were there, even though you're not. Another option for this tool is to just do a screen share kind of thing. So if you're working with somebody, whether it's tech support or you're working with a coworker or a vendor, and you need to, show things on your screen in order to get the point across or show the issue or the error, you can do it that way, and get real-time support without somebody controlling your machine. So that's another way to go. The choice is yours. You can go ahead and use it. And like I said, it's free. It's Google. It's browser-based, so it works on pretty much everything. You know what? I'm just curious now. I didn't even think to try it on the phone. Let me try it on the phone real quick. Okay, you don't need to hear TikTok. Okay. Christina, you're out there someplace. It's your fault. I'm falling in love with TikTok. All right, let me just try this real quick and see if it'll work right from the browser on my phone. Anybody want to guess? We're placing bets. Okay, I can't. The glasses are for the computer, and this is too close. So I'm typing it the wrong way because I can't actually see what I'm doing. I miss having contacts. I didn't have this problem then. On another topic, I'm hearing rumors that they're going to come out with a Pixel 6 XL, and my goodness, I am excited. Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, you can do this on your phone. I kind of figured it might because it's browser-based. So that means you could do this from your Chromebook, your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your computer, whatever computer. Okay, so again, getting back to Linux and Mac and Windows and all the others, Raspberry Pi, it'll work on Raspberry Pi in that case too. Interesting. I've got ideas for a Raspberry Pi project, but I haven't quite pulled the trigger yet. So this is it's another way to go. Oh, shoot, I didn't show you. Hang on. I'm sorry. I'm showing you things that you can't see. So yes, it is working on my phone. Whoops. Come back. There we go. So that means it will work any place that you've got a browser, it should work. That's what we're going for on this. Alrighty. And hey, wow, that went really well. I got through all of those and nothing crashed. Like I said, it's been a tech fights back kind of day. So, to summarize, using remote access for a computer or a device is not a big hairy deal. As much as it might feel like it the first time, after you do it once, you're going to be like, oh, this is nothing. And oh, wow, look at all these ideas that are popping in my head and how to use it. You have a choice between the options that are built into whatever computer or device you're on, or you can go third party with something like Teamviewer, or you can use the Google solution, which just works in the browser. However you do it, I highly recommend you give it a try, because it's one of the things that even if you don't think you need it today, you should just try it once, go through the process, because I promise you, something will happen in the not too distant future that this will be the perfect solution for, whether it's, getting tech support or giving tech support or working with somebody or accessing something that you forgot to put on the machine that you're working on right now. Whatever the scenario is, you're going to be glad that you have this tucked away in your brain, and it will be easier if you've already picked one of these options and given it a test drive so that you're comfortable with the process. Sound good? All right, everybody, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for coming by. I am here every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Like I said, I certainly have plenty of topics to bring, but the good topics are the ones that come from you folks, so please don't hesitate to reach out. If you'd like to stay on top of what's going on, you can go ahead and sign up for the mailing list. I do apologize to everybody on the mailing list. I know the email has not gone out the past couple of weeks. I started to rejigger something, and so now it's halfway, and I couldn't really do it then. I promise this weekend to finish it so that I can start sending the emails out again next week. But basically, most of the emails are just what's coming up on the next show. But I have some ideas for the mid and end of the year that you might want to be a little bit ahead of the curve on. That's all I'll say. So you can just sign up at yourtechcoach.net/mailing list. It's real simple. I ask for your email address. I'm not asking for your life story. It's all good. I mean, you can share it if you want, but that's not my goal. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out, and I will see you again next week. Bye.